check out this video really quick.
What do you say to these folks who say, well, if you tax millionaires, they're going to leave the city, and the top 1% pays 40% of the taxes in the city, so what happens if they leave? What's your response?
Well, that's what I would say. It's like we should take their business, and we run it like for our, like the city ourselves.
So if they take their business to Florida, you feel like you can keep it here?
I mean, they can't leave the building. They can't like just bring their whole entire workforce to Florida, right? They can't bring all of like the resources that they have to like build the business here to Florida, right? That's a whole thing. And that's where you would even say, like, if we're building a real movement, right, to like stop that, we'd also like make it illegal for them to like actually like leave, right? We would fine them to hell if they're gonna try to like abandon their property here, right? Because clearly people do need to work, right? People do need to like, you know, make a living.
Oh, so you want to take over the business. Okay. Oh, no, you want to make it illegal for them to be able to leave New York for Florida if the taxes are too high in New York. Oh, okay. Oh, no, you want to tax them to hell if they leave the city. Yeah, they're a private business. They can go do whatever they want. But what you just explained was Communism 101.
Now, this is Zohran Mamdani's tone as of, I think, about 2 or 3 days ago, right?
At the heart of this path is a property tax increase. This would effectively be a tax on working and middle-class New Yorkers who have a median income of $122,000.
Oh, God have mercy. I wish y'all would stop getting fooled by this stuff. Right now, property tax is going crazy all throughout the country. And this joker is going to raise New York City property taxes at $122,000. You got people in Georgia, Florida, throughout the country that make $122,000. And raising their taxes is going to make them lose houses. So if you're renting a house and you're a renter, this is for you, because you may find out that there's a foreclosure ticket on your door when you walk out one day because the owner can't handle the taxes. Now this guy wants to take it to another level, and I thought we were talking about targeting million plus. Now he brought it all the way down to 122.
The second path also requires us to raid our reserves. It would mean withdrawing $980 million from our city's rainy day fund in fiscal year 2026 and $229 million from the Retiree Health Benefit Trust in fiscal year 2027.
He's talking about taking away your reserves also. Whew.
These are steps that have been taken before, but only in moments of extraordinary external crisis. Mayor Bloomberg's response to the 2008 financial collapse, and Mayor de Blasio's response to the enormous revenue shortfall caused by the pandemic. We do not want to have to turn to such drastic measures to balance our budget.
But yo, check it out. It gets deeper. It gets deeper. This is the full press conference. Well, a piece of that press conference. This guy, see, this is the thing. When you leave a lot of this and you say, oh, I'm cool with socialism. Oh, socialists are cool. What do you mean? We want the rich to pay their fair share. I keep telling you guys, the rich people paying their fair share means when you increase the taxes on them, they turn around and increase cost of goods and services that you pay for. Average people like you and me, regardless of how much you make, you put on your shoes, you go outside, you got to go buy a loaf of bread. Somebody manufactures that. You got to go to a supermarket. Somebody owns that. So if you tell them I'm going to increase how much taxes you're paying, you created these jobs, you built this business. Yes, it's helping the community. Yes. But I'm going to increase it. That's the solution for socialists. To me, I call it like the okie doke. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's the crossover.
This is a fiscal crisis that was not created by working and middle-class New Yorkers. It should not be placed on their backs in order for the city to resolve it.
Mayor Zohran Mamdani repeatedly emphasized he does not want to raise property taxes on New Yorkers already struggling to afford their homes, nor dip into the city's rainy day fund. He's presenting state leaders with an ultimatum to help him fill the $5.4 billion hole in the city budget. Raise taxes on millionaires or corporations, or he'll have no choice but to raise those property taxes. The mayor was asked repeatedly about if New Yorkers would feel betrayed.
We're not talking about free buses. We're talking about dipping into the rainy day fund. We're not talking about taxing millionaires. We're talking about taxing working class people.
Well, I am talking about taxing millionaires. What we need to do is reckon with the structural nature of this and put ourselves back on the kind of footing that allows us to advance an agenda.
The budget
You guys got
gap is mainly due to ballooning rental assistance programs and spending to reduce class sizes in schools. The mayor says he's already working to find savings throughout city government. But budget observers like the Citizens Budget Commission call a wealth tax versus property tax debate a false choice.
The best option is to dig into the agencies, identify spending that is helping New Yorkers and keep it, that is not helping New Yorkers and shrink it or eliminating it.
And local leaders who generally support the mayor say a property tax hike is a non-starter.
We have to stand up for homeowners in particular.
these are your people. These are the people that jumped on the bus and said, yeah, he's for the people. Nah, that Negro about getting the bag, bro. He about getting the bag. He's going to get it from anyone. He doesn't care if he taxes the rich or if he taxes the poor. And I know some of y'all are going to argue and say, well, no, he's doing this in order to make the rich pay their fair share. Let me tell you something. If you had a choice, if you were presented with an option to pay something if somebody else doesn't pay it, first thing I would say is, okay, let them go pay it. And that person that's supposed to pay it, they disappear. They're like, I ain't paying that. And it falls to you. Now, who's the dummy in this case? Is it the person who put the person in place that brought out the law that's saying I need to raise the taxes? Or is it the person that's leaving? I think the person that's leaving is the smartest person in the room. I think the person who's skipping out is the smartest person in the room. I think the people who are staying, the people that say we're going to tough it out, Zoran is really about us. I'll take a hit, 15% tax increase on my property. You know, people in Chicago are at 135% tax increase on their property. Yeah. Instead of taxing the businesses that are in the inner city and letting them pull like the blunt of it, you're going to give it to the residents, just like in Chicago. See, the businesses are there because when you have a commercial business, you should expect to be taxed more. Your property should be expected to be taxed more. I mean, you own the building, you're going to get tax increases if you run that business. Yeah, you're going to roll off that increase to the people who buy the goods in the neighborhood, but they have a choice. They can choose to buy it or not buy it. The people, New Yorkers will have a choice at least to buy it or not buy it. If we're talking about sales taxes, increase in the cost of goods for those bodegas, for whatever products or whatever services are being offered by a business in the inner city. But he's skipping that conversation. He's not even having that initial conversation. He's automatically throwing all of those middle income earners on the chopping block. And do you think that the governor cares? Do you think anybody cares about it? No. The property tax hike might just go through. This is not an empty threat because every municipality, a lot of these major cities, Atlanta's feeling that same thing. I saw Houston, I saw Chicago, Philadelphia. They're raising property taxes on the people who own the properties. They're not even looking at the businesses right now. Crazy insane.
Black and brown homeowners who have always been disproportionately taxed.
Governor Kathy Hochul has worked with the mayor on the budget and is already pledging more than $3 billion to help pay for his child care plans and to stabilize the budget. She, too, is skeptical of new taxes.
I'm not supportive of property tax increase. I don't know that that's necessary, but let's find out what is really necessary for him to close that gap.
That's the result of selecting and putting someone in office who has no experience politically. They don't have any experience running an organization, a large group, none whatsoever. Only experience that they have is some little rinky-dink thing that they did in college. Now you give them a budget for New York City, a multi-billion-dollar budget, and you say, here, run it. Of course they're going to come to you with some crazy stuff like, hey, we need to raise the taxes. They don't know how to do they don't have experience in any of that. And Eric Adams had a point. I think not just Eric Adams, what's the new, Cuomo had a point too. when they were all running against him, they said this guy has no experience. They were completely ignored. Experience didn't matter. We wanted social ideology running, that the socialist ideology, we needed that at the helm. And this is what you're going to get. I truly believe that Trump did not push back on him at the White House. You saw a real cool, pristine Trump, largely because Trump knew they were going to fail. Trump knew this was going to be some BS. He knew it was going to fall. He was going to get egg on his face. To me, Trump was saying, okay, yeah, go do your thing. I got something better for you. When he gets done and he makes these mistakes, the mistakes that a newbie who probably should start off running a local municipality, at least get on city council so you understand how things are done. At least get on the city council. At least be involved in putting some real serious laws into place. It's something about serving people before you decide you want to open your own business. Be an apprentice before you turn around, I'm going to open my own business. And I'm going to sell tires better than he sell tires. Because I know how to talk to the people. Oh, no.